let's switch topics now. Let's talk about migration, because just like disinformation, migration is also a topic we need to discuss. You know, because well, migration isn't bad in itself. Anyone can migrate. I can opt from Lagos and move to Oyo State. I can opt from Lagos, move to South Africa. But the problem is irregular migration and the risks associated with it. So I want to begin by asking both of you, but Dina, let me ask you first. Have you or your family members ever thought about migrating? Because you know, in Nigeria we call it Japa.
Yeah.
So has Japa ever crossed your mind, migration?
Japa definitely hasn't crossed my mind.
It hasn't?
No. I love Nigeria. It's a toxic
Are we
relationship.
supposed to clap? I don't know.
I'm not clapping.
Well, okay, go on.
I love Nigeria.
Okay.
But then my parents also migrated to England in the
Okay.
80s. But I did the reverse. So, I mean, I know what Japa is and I know the effects, but
Okay.
I personally never.
How about you? Has it ever crossed your mind? Do you have family members who have migrated?
Well, I don't have family members who have migrated,
Okay.
except maybe for friends. I have quite been a traveler myself, but it never crossed my mind, you know, to leave Nigeria and then go stay somewhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I can say I'm sitting in front of two very patriotic Nigerians. So
Oh,
kudos
yes.
to both of you, because if given an opportunity, I'm talking about someone else now,
Yeah.
any other Nigerian, if you have an interview with about maybe 5 people or 5 persons,
Yeah.
at least 3 or 4 would say, yes, they will go. What are they doing? What are they?
Are you part of the three of us?
Wait,
Please, I'm the one asking you the question.
Mary, I think also, so, just to quickly mention,
Yeah.
if you Japa, it doesn't mean you're unpatriotic also. Definitely, there are people who Japa and are still contributing. Do you know that for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
almost $90 billion of remittances from diaspora came
Yeah.
from the people that Japa.
That Japa,
So
true.
in fact, they are the ones that are keeping us here. 6.1% of our economy.
But if
is
everyone
from diaspora.
leaves, who would be here?
No one. We have 200.
enough
We have
people.
234 million. Please.
We have enough people.
How many people have left?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this important question as it relates to irregular migration. What pops up on your feed on social media about migration? Do you see anything relating to irregular migration or migration in general? Abba.
Well, I think I don't know. Maybe Dina would have a very different perspective because we are coming from the 2 different parts of Nigeria. From our own end, we have many young people illegally migrating to even neighboring African countries in search of what they call the greener pasture, where they are promised. You can see it on social media. You know, you have all these illegal gold mining centers in most of these African countries and also some part of Middle East. So young people would basically take a very dangerous route to travel because they are promised that if they mine this gold, they will have certain percentages and that they will come back and sell the gold and then end up becoming rich. But majority at the end of the day are not really successful. Some have end up being in a trap of debt because their passports have been confiscated and some also end up getting shot by violent extremist group over there and end up losing their life. So yes, almost every day on my social media I see stories of illegal migration.
I see very horrible things happening to Africans trying to escape their realities. I see people drowning on boats. I see people that have gotten to European countries legally and they are being ostracized by their peers because they're Africans. And I feel that what I'm not seeing enough of is deterrences by government agencies to tell people that, look, what you're going to experience there is not gold paved roads, but culture shock and racism and abuse, and in some very extreme cases death, rape, slavery.
Okay, but when you have a situation where you have the government act takes steps to prevent its citizens from traveling. We have the NIDCOM, Nigeria in Diaspora Commission, chaired by Abike Dabire-Rewa. She is trying, the federal government is trying, they talk about this thing constantly. But when you have your people who are resilient, who say they want to actually go, what then can the government do, Abba?
Well, the first thing, thank you for mentioning that if the people want to go, there is one thing we need to get very straight when we talk about Japa or migration in general. It is part of the human threat.
Okay.
It's natural. People have to move. In fact, there is no country that will tell you a million ago that it's the same people that were there. It might be different people, and that people have to move either because of natural disaster or because of a natural phenomenon. You know, they have to move to another location, and then they move, and then they move. Humans in nature are nomadic. That's one thing we have to keep at the back of our mind.
Dina, you have a case, for instance, where you have a young person who have said they want to migrate irregularly. Now, we've pointed out the fact that migration is normal. It's fine to migrate. But doing it irregularly is where the problem lies. So how do you, with all you've seen on information you've gotten on irregular migration, how do you stop? How do you think you can stop a young person from migrating irregularly?
Information is very important. Okay. And information reaching the right audience is very important. Nigeria has one of the largest youth populations in the world, meaning it's young people that are taking these risks. Some may say youthful exuberance and ignorance. We need something that encourages and inspires Nigerian youth to stay in their country. We need them to speak a language that these people can understand, that they can, a picture that really paints the realities of what illegal migration entails, what it consists of, as opposed to the Japa movement, I'm going, I've arrived. Because that's a very small percentage of the people that are actually making it successfully. So I think information. If these committees exist, which channels are they using to broadcast their message? How are they passing this information? Why are the young people not knowing of these organizations? Where can young people go and speak to people if they're concerned about the trajectory of their lives? And what is the government doing to make life more conducive and progress more viable for these people?
Okay. So Abba, let me just ask you, what's keeping you in Nigeria? Why have you not Japa, or why have you not thought about it?
Well, I think the thing that is keeping me in Nigeria, I wouldn't say patriotism per se, because like I said, there are people who migrated and are more patriotic safe than some people that are in the country. So I think I would say one is my family. Secondly, I would say I am a bit hopeful that things will be better. Some people will call it a wishful thinking, you know, and a tiny dust of hope in the air. But I still hold this belief that if I'm here, I can contribute, and even if I'm not here, I can still contribute. I know, but I chose to be here, I think, for mainly my family. Like I said, if I Japa and my family are still here, you know, I mean, if we will Japa, let us all Japa. If I will stay, let us all stay. Or let's maybe for some like opportunities that will require me to spend like 2 years, 3 years, and then come back home. I think,
When you talk to young Nigerians, they talk about opportunities. You know, they say greener pastures. So that's what they're going in search of. Do you not think we have greener pastures in Africa or in Nigeria?
I think Nigeria, Africa, but I can speak as a Nigerian, it's very fertile land. Okay. And the opportunity is vast. I'm in arts and entertainment. Okay. I've been a musician for so many years, and I don't think I would have been able to reach what I've reached if I were abroad. Okay. I also have been fortunate enough to work with artists, painters, sculptors in the thousands, and I see how much talent and how much economic potential there is if given the right channels to share their talents and share their ideas. And those are the things that keep me hopeful for this country, is that we can look into ourselves and bring out amazing things that can allow us to prosper as a nation and as a people.
I want to give you a round of applause because that was so touching. Kudos to you. And let me just ask you the final question, Abba, before we are done here. What's the one thing you think Europe can do to support young Africans who, say, want to migrate in a way that benefits everyone? Just briefly, please.
Well, I think we need to give Europeans their flowers, specifically the European Union. We have the Global Gateway Program that the EU is supporting, which gives a cutting-edge opportunity for young Africans to go out and migrate safely, either through education, through health, or through research. There is also the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, which is yearly, and it gives young Africans a mobility opportunity to go to European countries and, you know, tour around Europe while studying to get 2 or 3 master's degree. So these are all, you know, some opportunities that the European Union has been able to give young Nigerians to be able to safely migrate to Europe. Then also to cut short some issues around illegal migration. They've been supporting organizations like UNODC, like IOM, you know, to come up with solutions that can make migration more safer and deter others from, you know, really taking the unsafe routes to go to Europe in search of what we call the greener pasture.
All right. Abba, thank you so much. Dina, thank you so much.
Mary.
It's been a wonderful discussion we've had so far.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. All right.
Perfect.